My name is Sophia Reed, and at 7 years old, I was kidnapped by my mother's drug dealer. He lured me with promises of groceries, knowing I was starving, but I soon realized we weren't going back. He abused me, tried to sell me, and I thought I'd die. But I survived, and years later, I solved my own case, confirming my kidnapper is dead. This is my story of trauma, closure, and finding strength in the aftermath. I grew up in a chaotic home where my mother's addiction controlled everything. By age 7, in 1995, I was used to hunger and neglect. We had little food, and I often went without. There were 3 of us, and our house was a mess. Empty bottles, strangers coming and going. My biological grandmother, a distant figure, had her own demons. Her emotional abuse and neglect of my mother planted the seeds of the cycle of pain that consumed us. My older brother was already showing troubling signs, behaviors hinting at his pain turning dark. My younger brother was quiet, withdrawn, even then. I was the middle child, nurturing by nature, planting birdseed in the yard just to watch something grow amid the chaos. But life was unpredictable. My mother owed money to dealers, and one day, one of them saw an opportunity in me. He was much older, someone who'd been around before, with small acts of kindness. That day, he asked if I wanted to go get groceries. Starving, I said yes. As we drove away, a knot formed in my stomach. I knew something was wrong. The drive felt endless, and I soon realized we weren't heading to any store. He stopped for gas, and I eyed the payphone, my heart pounding. I thought about running, dialing 911 like I'd learned in school, but he was watching, and I knew he'd catch me. Fear paralyzed me, my small body trembling with a mix of hunger and dread. He took me across state lines, and the abuse began. He pornographed me, forcing me into situations no child should endure. He tried to sell me multiple times, treating me like payment for debts. He bragged about hurting other kids, showing me photos of a brother and sister he'd abused, trying to normalize it. This is what they did, he'd say, instructing me to act the same. I felt trapped. My mind racing with terror, my stomach twisting from hunger and fear. My body went numb, and I woke in fragments, disoriented, my skin crawling with shame I couldn't name. My mother hadn't reported me missing. Days passed, and she was too lost in her addiction to notice or care. The world felt so small, just me and this monster, and I wondered if anyone would find me. The isolation was crushing. I had no one to cry to, no escape from the constant dread. Every moment I dissociated, my mind floating away to survive the pain, locking the emotions deep inside where they still linger today. After several days on the road, a woman at a stop noticed me, a scared little girl with a much older man, and something didn't sit right with her. Later, I learned she might have been a madam, possibly tied to trafficking, which makes her reporting me even more complicated. She alerted the authorities, and he caught wind, panicked, and fled faster. He drugged me heavily, and the next thing I remember is waking up naked, shivering, as firemen wrapped me in aluminum blankets to cover my body. I was rescued, flown back to my home state, and learned the horrifying truth. I was payment for my mother's drug debt. My kidnapper vanished, but years later, with help from anonymous internet sleuths and my own genealogy skills, I located him and confirmed he's definitely dead. Police investigated at the time, but the case fell through the cracks. It should have been charged as kidnapping with intent to sexually assault a minor, but it wasn't. I was examined by doctors who confirmed the abuse, and my world shattered again. The rescue didn't end the pain. It shifted it. My mother faced consequences. She lost custody of all her children. My brothers and I were torn apart, sent to different foster homes, severing the bond that kept us grounded. My older brother, my first sexual abuser before the kidnapping, became a predator with access to children, a truth that torments me. I believe he's evil. My younger brother withdrew from his own abuse, frozen in time, while I embraced therapy. My biological mother, trapped in addiction, couldn't explain why she let this happen. Her own trauma shaped by my grandmother's cruelty. I met her as an adult, demanding answers, but she had none. I forgave her in person, seeing her brokenness, but keep her at a distance. No contact with my kids, though she can see my social media. My father was similar, a product of his flaws, and I forgave him too, wishing they'd stop their self-destruction. At 9, I was adopted with my younger brother by a loving mother who said, "There's nothing wrong with you. You're strong. beyond your peers. Her words built my confidence, turning my weirdness into strength. But adoption wasn't safe. My adoptive father abused me later, and though my adoptive mother left him to protect us, he faced no prosecution due to lack of evidence. In my 30s, I solved my kidnapping, confirming my kidnapper's death. A senior detective gave me closure, saying the evidence was overwhelming and the case prosecutable even now. Flashbacks hit daily, triggered by small things like a smell or sound. Hypervigilance keeps me on edge, hard to relax. Therapy saved me, court-ordered at first, now weekly, sometimes twice. DBT helps most. EMDR works for adult trauma, but not my deep-rooted fears from a brain wired in chaos. I've tried mushrooms for memory recall, going back to pre-verbal times, controlling how trauma affects me. My unwavering faith has been my rock, guiding me through darkness with a belief in something greater. At 33, I'm married to a supportive partner with 4 kids, 2 mine, 2 bonus. They're my life. I spoil them with love, food, and protection, using AirTags to track them, a reflection of my protector mom paranoia. My kids and I started a children's book project, writing stories about strength and hope, a way to give back. I cook excessively, garden, and nurture every child around me, determined to break the cycle my grandmother fueled. I'm funny, an amazing poker player, and passionate about sharing wisdom. Motherhood brought new awareness. I feel weird among peers, but embrace it as an ancient soul. I face evil daily, controlling my trauma. My kids humble me. I make mistakes, but love fiercely. I believe loving at home fights evil. Broken homes hurt kids, and hurt people hurt others. This story is a reminder that no matter what you're facing, you're not alone, and there's always a way forward. I was 7, terrified, but I survived and found strength. Reach out to a friend, therapist, or hotline. Someone will listen. You deserve healing and hope. Check the links below for resources. Please share this story to spread awareness about resilience. Subscribe for more survivor stories, and if you have a story, reach out. We're here to listen.